a quiet Pennsylvania town, a Thanksgiving meal between two families. And then two little girls walked out the front door and never came back. The case would push one detective to his limits and one father across every line. But the truth was hiding closer than anyone could imagine. I'm Sarah Budaboo, and today we'll be reviewing Prisoners, 2013, Dennisville News psychological thriller that asks how much a person will sacrifice to find what they've lost. It begins the way an ordinary life does. Keller Dover takes his son out to hunt in the winter woods. Later, the Dovers walk over to their friends the Birches to share the holiday meal. The adults cook together in the kitchen, the venison from a morning's hunt laid out between them. The house is warm and easy, the two families comfortable in each other's company. The youngest girls, Anna and Joy, ask to walk back to the Dover house for a moment. The adults say yes. When the girls do not come back, the parents begin to search. Keller goes through the house and down into the basement, calling their names into empty rooms. There's no answer anywhere. Slowly it becomes real. The girls are in neither house. The four parents stand together as the truth settles over them like cold. Their daughters have simply vanished. The case falls to Detective Loki, a careful, solitary investigator who has never failed to close one. A lead surfaces fast. A suspect's RV is found parked near the scene, and in the pouring rain, the police move in. The vehicle is impounded and torn apart under harsh lights, examined inch by inch, but in the end it gives the investigators almost nothing to hold on to. At home, the families sink into the long, helpless wait. Grace cannot get out of bed. Loki tells Keller the truth he does not want to hear. There is no evidence, and the suspect has the mind of a child. They have to let him go. For Keller, it is unbearable. The one man he believes knows where his daughter is will simply walk out the door. Inside the department, Loki defends the decision to his captain. By the book, there is nothing more they can do. But Keller is certain the man as good as confessed, and that the police are letting him walk away. As the search widens, Loki's interviews turn up another unsettling figure. A strange young man named Bob Taylor. Something about him is off. The way he answers, the way he looks away, enough that Loki keeps watching him. Keller cannot let it go. One night, he parks across from where the suspect is staying and waits in his truck, watching the lit windows for a long time, alone with what he is about to do. When the chance comes, he takes him. No one sees it happen. The man who was set free is led away into the dark and simply disappears. Meanwhile, Loki keeps working the case the only way he can. He speaks with the suspect's aunt, Holly Jones, who answers his questions calmly and politely in her living room and offers him nothing of concern. What Keller does next, he hides from everyone. In an empty, abandoned building, he holds the suspect captive and beats him, day after day, trying to force out of him where the girls are. He strikes him again and again. The man's face is already swollen and bloodied, but the questions never stop. He brings Franklin into it. Franklin stands over the hunched, bloodied prisoner, sickened by what they are doing. Keller is coming apart as he does it, shouting at a man who may know nothing at all. But Keller does not stop. The beatings continue, day after day, and still there are no answers. The town holds a candlelight vigil for the girls. Nancy stands among the crowd in the dark, weeping. The two mothers weep among the candles, holding each other up. Loki moves through the gathering, watching the faces, certain whoever took the girls may be close. A hooded figure breaks from the crowd and runs. Loki chases him over a fence and into the woods, but loses him in the dark. The figure disappears into the black trees, and the one lead Loki had is gone. The weight of it begins to break them. Franklin and Nancy sit at home, unable to look at each other, unable to live with what they have allowed to happen in their room. Keller goes back to the locked box again and again, a photo of the missing girls on the wall behind him. At home, Grace can see something is wrong with her husband, though she does not yet know what. Following his own suspicions, Keller turns on Bob Taylor next. Hooded against the cold, he waits in the desolate lot outside Bob's house, then forces his way in. Inside, he finds boxes of children's clothes and pages of scrawled mazes. To Keller, it is proof. He is sure he has found his man. The police reach Bob first. Loki finds him at his door, nervous and smiling, and takes him into custody. At the station, Loki shows Keller a photograph of blood-stained clothes recovered from Bob's house. Keller, certain the blood means his daughter is dead, can barely hold himself together. In the interrogation room, Bob says almost nothing useful. He only hunches over the table, drawing the same tangled mazes for hours on end while the detectives watch through the glass. Then, in a sudden struggle, Bob seizes an officer's gun. He is driven back against the wall, the gun still in his hand, as Loki and the officers close in. Then he raises it to his own chin. Before anyone can stop him, he turns it on himself. Whatever he knew, whatever he was, dies with him on the floor, and the investigation is left with nothing. But the lead falls apart. When forensics dig up Bob's property, they find the bloody clothes were planted, the blood was a pig's, and the buried bodies are only mannequins. Bob was a copycat, and the girls are still out there. Then, after weeks of nothing, a turn. Grace gets a phone call in the quiet of the house. One of the girls has been found alive. It is Joy. At the hospital, Nancy and Grace lean over her, desperate to know where Anna is. But only one girl has come back. Long after Bob is gone, Keller returns to Holly Jones one last time, telling her he wants to fix her door. She is calm, almost kind, and she lets him in. In her kitchen, she makes tea and talks quietly, an ordinary, grieving aunt. For a moment, nothing seems wrong. Then everything turns. Holly raises a revolver and points it across the room at him. The quiet woman was never what she seemed. She and her husband were the ones who took the children, all of them, over many years. At gunpoint, she forces Keller to drink, and the fight slowly drains out of him. She tells him, without anger, that his daughter was here all along, and that there is a pit hidden in the ground. She tells him to look down into it. Then she forces him down into the pit and seals him inside, wounded beneath the earth. The man who broke every rule to find his daughter is now buried, and no one knows where he is. It is Loki who finds the truth. Following the last thread of the case, he is sent to notify Holly Jones of a death. He comes to her quiet house, knocks, and steps inside. Something is wrong. He draws his weapon and orders her to show her hands. He aims into the dark and orders her to show her hands. Shots are fired in the dark. Holly raises a gun of her own. A shot catches Loki, and he doubles over, badly wounded, but he kills her, and at last he finds Anna alive. A car races down the wet road through the night, carrying the rescued girl toward the hospital. After everything, one father's daughter is brought home. In the hospital, the families begin to gather what is left of themselves. Anna is recovering. The children are safe. But Keller is still missing, and no one thinks to look beneath the ground where Holly lived. Later, in the dark, investigators dig through Holly's frozen property, searching for what she buried over the years. As the last of them prepares to leave, a faint sound rises from somewhere underground. A whistle, and then the film ends, leaving the answer just out of reach. Prisoners is a story about how far a person can fall when love turns into rage, and how the truth was right next door the whole time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives. See you.